Industria. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Industria is a first-person shooter that takes you from East Berlin into a parallel reality shortly before the end of the Cold War. On the search for a missing work colleague, you decipher a dark past in a mysterious parallel dimension. Yes, guys, we have a Half-Life kind of first-person shooter. That's the kind of vibe that I got from this. And I want to say, before we go in any further, the game has ray tracing and everything, and I had that switched off for the entire duration of the game. So I went back in on hardcore mode with all of that on, and I'm going to use most of the footage with ray tracing on, but some of it might look a bit grubby and shit, because that's when I've got all that switched off. So I do apologise, I screwed up. Now, I was able to complete the game and then go back in and do it half of it again, like I just said, with the graphics up a bit. That's because the game is only 4 hours long. I was really taking my time going through it, reading everything, and it took me exactly 4 hours. That was on normal difficulty. Running through it on hardcore, I reckon I can finish the game in an hour and a half, because I know exactly what to do, I know exactly how to fix the puzzles. It's not a very long game, and it's piss easy. It's really easy. Too easy. The enemies that you fight, that's why we're talking about this, let's just go into the combat. The enemies you fight are different types of robots. Some of them just charge at you silently. I don't know if that's by design or a bug. It just seems to me that some robots who run at you really silently should be making a noise because of the footsteps and stuff. So I'm guessing that's a bug. There are quite a few bugs in this. But nevertheless, they are quite scary when they come charging at you out of the shadows. There's others that explode on impact. Well, not on impact, but as soon as they get up to you, they start a 2-second destruct sequence, which does quite a bit of damage to you. There's others that are really slow and cumbersome that you can just take out with your pickaxe. Your pickaxe is kind of like your crowbar from Half-Life. And it is very similar to Half-Life, which I'll come to in a second. Other enemies are like these dog things that come charging at you, which again, they can overwhelm you, but I never really felt threatened at all at any point in the game. There needs to be more of them, and I think a lot more of them need guns. There's a few that have guns that are like cyborgy. They shoot you, they can do a lot of damage, but once you get all the weapons in the game, which consist of the pickaxe, the pistol, the SMG, it's like a Sten gun, a sniper rifle, a shotgun, you're pretty much on top of things quite easily. Ammo comes at you through the crates that you have in Half-Life, where you smash them up with your crowbar. You do the same in here with your pickaxe, and you'll get an array of different ammo for your weapons. You'll also get batteries for your torch and first aid vials that you can just drink whenever you like to replenish half of your health. The game has a few puzzles that are pretty okay. They're very simple puzzles, but it's a puzzle, and I kind of like puzzles that make a bit of sense, and the ones in this game do. I really enjoyed them, to be honest. I mean, I enjoyed playing the game. Like I say, it was a bit easy, but the story was quite good. You're in this parallel universe. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it does take a few twists and turns. It ends a bit suddenly, I felt. It was just kind of, I wanted a bit more. It just seemed to, okay, let's just end it now. It was that kind of ending, which was a bit disappointing. But the story itself, yeah, was pretty decent. I quite liked the voiceovers as well. I thought they were pretty decent. So yeah, no real complaints there. And do you know what? No real complaints about the graphics. There was only a 6-man team that did this game. So, you know, graphically it looks alright, especially when I turned them up to what they should have been. I was still only playing it on 1080p, guys, and it ran okay. It was a bit jittery when I put it onto 1440p. Yeah, it didn't run great on that, but 1080p it was running absolutely fine. Now, as I said, it's a bit like Half-Life. The design is Half-Life. It's kind of totally inspired. You can just tell it's inspired from Half-Life. There's no gravity gun or anything like that, which is a bit of a shame. In fact, you know, if only it was even twice as long as this, and it just went a bit further, a bit deeper with more enemies, and then something like the gravity gun, I'd have totally forgiven the game, because, you know, I don't mind games copying Half-Life. There's hardly been any And we rarely get first-person shooters now that are crafted with love like this one clearly has been. So that is a bit of a shame. It's just that they're not that popular. This isn't what the masses want these days, which I'm not going to go into now. But for me, there was a few too many bugs. It didn't run great, and it was just too easy and too short. And they're the big problems. Now, the gunplay was alright from my perspective, shooting the weapons. The weapons are alright. There's nothing amazing. The sounds are pretty good. But the AI just gets kind of stuck on barricades and things like that. And doesn't seem to be that aware of my presence a lot of the time. So that was a bit of a shame. And it's £16, guys, this game. $16.99 to be honest. Now, what I'll say is this. For your average player who doesn't give a shit about Half-Life and all of that stuff, I would say give it a miss, because you're just going to get pissed off when the game ends so suddenly, and your ride's not going to be that great getting there. Unless, of course, you're just in it for the story, which is good. But if you're a kind of like a Half-Life nerd like me, and you just really want more of that kind of stuff, then I'd say give it a spin, because you're going to get that Half-Life feel from it, albeit a dumbed down version of Half-Life that's not as good. In fact, it'll make you want to probably go and play Half-Life after you've actually played it. So it's a tough one, because it's not a bad game, but I don't think it's really worth the £16. I think it would have been better suited at about a tenner or something for the sheer size of the game. But if you do buy it, take your time, don't rush through it, put it on hardcore straight away. Don't even bother with normal. Normal's a joke. Get it on hardcore. It's still easy, and just take your time, absorb the story, the atmosphere, because the game oozes a lot of that. It's got some nice scenes, some nice atmosphere. I particularly like that when you get on the train and you're driving the steam train. Some of the combat's pretty good as well. It's so close to being a really good game, and that's kind of left me a little bit frustrated. So I'm going to thumb it up, but it's going to be reflected in the score, the bugs, and just how easy it is and how short it is. So there you go, guys. That's Industria. It's worth a buy if you're kind of into this kind of stuff.